Yes.
I love that intro.
Welcome, guys. How you going?
Oh, good, man.
A little bit different this time, and we didn't get a chance to talk before the show started, so we can have our little catch up right now. How are you guys?
Good. See Chris's new office situation?
Yeah. What is that little figurine you've got behind you there? Or is that a figurine or a family photo?
It's a picture
this
of Wyatt.
one here?
It's a family photo. Yeah,
that's
it looks
Wyatt.
like okay, no worries. And this is a family photo too.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
I'm keeping him on standby until my Rick and Morty pinball machine turns up, and then it's going to be parked right on the very top of the machine.
Oh man, I'm sick over these AirPods. I popped open my AirPods a minute ago, and lo and behold, oh, that's too much light. There's only one in here.
Jay Bentoncourt. That intro, though, yeah, that was fun to make. We had a bit of fun with that. Chris, OA Challenge. Wow.
We are done with number 2. It's been a fun time. It's been good.
It's crazy.
Pumped
it's
about
so good
it.
that you took this whole time that we were locked down, and you used your time like really productively and created this amazing course. I can't believe that 6 months ago today, we went into lockdown as a family. We're not as much in lockdown in Queensland anymore, but 6 months ago, it was explained to us that this is serious. We have to shut the doors and you can't go anywhere. And wow, half a year ago, and it looks like we're only halfway through this COVID thing. Who knows?
No kidding. I hopefully we have a mild flu season. That'll be the one silver lining in this year, I would imagine, in the year of firenadoes and bears with nunchucks and all kinds of weird stuff.
Speaking of crazy news, what was it that you posted this morning, which I haven't even dug into yet, about Amazon's latest changes? I noticed as I woke up, there was a bit of news there, but I was quickly preparing this webinar, so I didn't get a chance to dig into that. Can you fill us in a bit on what's going on there?
Yeah, so on the face of it, it seems like it might be a little bit of bad news. We all know that merchant
2020,
right?
Yeah,
right.
True.
So for those who merchant fulfill, and we know that merchant fulfilling is probably going to be a larger part of a lot of people's businesses this year. Starting on September the 30th, you can no longer charge a restock fee for items that come back to you without damage, or you need to have a reason. And if you are not going to refund after getting the item back from Amazon's customer, then you're going to need to upload a photo and show that it's destroyed and things like that. So they are really moving toward the customer here and saying, like, we're going to make sure that the customer has a reason that they're getting a restock fee or only a partial refund. But the silver lining is let's say someone, I don't know, you sell a router and they send it back with a bunch of rocks in the box. Well, you can prove to Amazon that, well, this is what I got back from the customer with a picture, and you can say, I'm not going to refund these folks, and then hopefully Amazon's going to be on our side because we've got evidence. So I think that's a silver
pretty
lining.
vague. I mean, you could go out and take a picture of a bunch of rocks and say, well, this is what I got. Or do you, how do you take a photo of destroying something? Do you need to get a baseball bat and just have a big swing at it and then take a happy snap mid swing?
That's a good question. I would imagine that in a lot of cases, Amazon's going to side with the customer, as they want to do. But hopefully this isn't a complete cluster for sellers, and of course, I hope sellers understand that. I mean, that we're retailers. It's kind of part of the game. It's I have an unpopular opinion that you just need to a lot of times just refund the customer and just move on, and make it up other places. And a lot of people are like, well, I need to get my 10% restock fee, or the customer can take a hike. And unfortunately, we've got to follow the leader, and the leader's Amazon.
Yeah, it always feels like a half a percentage here and a percentage there, and it's you've got to adapt in this space. I mean, there's a lot of people here that this won't even touch. A lot of fulfillment by Amazon people only, and our community is, I'd say, more heavily leaning towards fulfillment by Amazon people. But you're correct in saying that during this time, it's there is a bit more merchant fulfilled going on. So this is a consideration.
Yeah,
and would definitely be worth keeping an eye on how that evolves in the weeks and months ahead. So September the 30th, did you say that's kicking in?
Yep. Yeah. And if we think about it, I mean, e-commerce has grown like 10 years in 6 months, and we've all gotten to take part in that. I mean, it's not great, the reason that it had to grow so fast, but I mean, tons of resellers are making like money hand over fist.
Yeah.
And so if this is one lump we got to take on the chin, then we got to do it.
If Bezos has, funny, I saw somebody in a Reddit post the other day referring to him as Bezos, which is the Spanish word for kiss. It's Jeff Bezos.
That is a good name. Jeff Kisses. It's like a bouncer at a strip club.
Jeff Bezos. But if Jeff's doubled his worth in the last 6 months, then that means that sellers are doing well as well. What was the other meme I saw the other day? It was like Jeff Bezos going, I want to earn enough for a Lamborghini. 5 seconds later, did it.
Probably not even that long.
Yeah. Guys, so today I was hoping to StreamYard's put us in the Brady Bunch format today. It normally puts us in a triple strip, but I can sort of
little totem pole.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, how's it going? No.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris. That's the way he came.
So today I was hoping to keep it nice and casual. This is episode 10 of Late Night with Tactical Arbitrage, by the way. So we also started this about 6 months ago. We didn't quite hit the 1 every 2 weeks metric, but we're not too far off it. We still have lives to live, and like last week, for instance, I had to scoot off to the Gold Coast for a wedding. We're still allowed to do weddings here in Queensland at the moment, but we've done pretty well to get 10 in the books, and we'll try and keep them going. People seem to find them useful, and in this one, we're going to cover a competition that we ran on Facebook group about 2 weeks ago, where we asked people to send in their tricks and tips and ideas of how to best use tactical arbitrage to bring in that sweet profit. And I thought we'd cover some of those and have a chat about which ones you guys think are good ideas, and we can cover the ones that we gave prizes to as well.
Fun.
How you been, Nate? How's the kids?
They're good. We just had a little bonfire and played some cornhole. Taught Brooksy how to play cornhole for the first time. And living the life, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
At that wedding I was at the other day.
Yeah, it looked fun.
We just like hanging on to the last bits of winter here. Well, it's just started spring, but there is still some cold nights. But we had to go to the Gold Coast hinterland. And when we got up there, I had no idea how cold it would be, and I was not wearing anywhere near enough. I still had like a suit jacket on, but it was a short sleeve shirt underneath. And when the cold gets into your bones and you just can't shake it, it's from the deepest part of your core. I was freezing like this, and people were trying to hand me a cold beer, and I was like, I just can't put a cold beer on top of this already freezing body right now. So, when you mentioned like a bonfire, at some point somebody had the bright idea of starting a fire, and I I left the whole wedding thing. The speeches were kind of done, and I just stood by the fire for the next 2 hours, slowly thawing out. But yeah, even just a few days later, and the warm's already kicking in, and I guess you guys are going to start to experience a bit of cold your way. But it's summer can't come soon enough.
I am dreading those 60-degree mornings when I wake up here.
Terrible.
Like, you're in Florida, so 60 degrees is going to be your bottom.
Yeah. I throw on a long sleeve shirt when that happens.
That's tough. It's tough. Living the good life. I guess you got that COVID trade-off down in Florida at the moment, though. That's been hit pretty hard.
Yeah. It's been a little nuts. People going to the beach and all that stuff, and so I just stay in my hole.
Smart man. Okay, so let's get into some of these tricks and tips. We don't have to hit all of them. I mean, the show is only an hour long, and we've got about, I exported every single one of them, but there's 25 or 26 here. We'll start reading them out, and we'll see how many we can get through. I should have done it into like a good old-fashioned David Letterman top 10 countdown, but I didn't put that much effort into it, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys.
Maybe next year. Okay, Lemmy Turner. He submitted a few and actually won one of the awards for best submitter, and he scored himself a 20% off, I believe it was, discount off his membership. Lem Turner says, run searches on random sites and set your cache to cache only. Okay, so what he means by cache to cache only, if I can just pop this up on the screen here as well. If I go over to product search, there's a little section up here that says cache only search. So if you set your cache to cache only, it's not going to look at anything which is a live search or is not already in cache, basically. So it'll scan through everything as quick as it possibly can, and I would suggest in this case use a long cache, like I have here 10 days, but most people have 5 days. Don't ask me how you can get 10 days. It's a deprecated plan, which some of the classic users still have. Anyway, run searches on random sites and set your cache to cache only. If you look at your watch logs data, which will happen when you start running a scan, then it'll give you the option to watch logs, and you see a bunch of skipped because it wasn't in cache, then you found a site or category that hasn't been scanned recently by any other tactical arbitrage users. So that's a really good tip. So what Lem's basically saying is if there's not much in cache, that means that let's say I did a 10-day search here and there was very little that appeared in cache. That means that site hasn't been scanned by other tactical arbitrage users almost like very much in the last 10 days. It may have been scanned, but with very restrictive filters, and that would avoid putting things into cache. But yeah, that's definitely a good one to hit. And as you can see, he got 9 thumbs for that great little comment there. You got any more to add on that one, guys? No, that's a good tip.
I got a little to add to that. Don't discount sites that you would think get run often when you do this. You'd be surprised the little categories that you might go into where nobody's touched them. Like motor oil on Walmart. You'd be surprised how often nobody is scanning motor oil on Walmart, and people buy motor oil on Amazon. So there's a lot of little places you can go in highly trafficked stores that'll have those little unsearched categories.
One of the best things about Always Be Scanning is it shows me products that in categories that I would never have otherwise thought to look. There's always something in here. Looks like we're in the book phase right now, and that happens every so often. We hit the books for a while, but there's always products in here that I would never have sort of thought to have a look at. What's this? XXX pad for dogs.
Indoor doggy training pads.
Yeah. Greeny's Dental Treats. So there's some pet stuff there. But yeah, like Chris says, always explore sites that you wouldn't otherwise think to. Like, for example, I use Miniature Market a lot, and I'm forever surprised not only how many products I find on Miniature Market, but how little competition there is in the number of sellers when I find products there. It's almost like, people don't want free money. There's so many board games and things on there, miniatures and whatnot, and usually unrestricted in your seller account. And when you go and check, there's like two sellers on it, and one of them's merchant fulfilled. And just there's so much out there if you get off the beaten track of just Target and Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So Lem Turner again. Create folders for the different ways you save your deals, then set them to auto update. I agree. This auto update is grossly underutilized. I can't go into my settings easily without revealing my keys, but in the settings section, there is a section called auto update, and what you can do is you can select auto update to point at saved list folders. Oops, I've hit download what was saying. Saved list folders. So in my saved list, for example, there's a whole bunch of different categories, but let's say I've got Hannaford's, Musician's Friend Guitars, and My New Toys. I wanted to continually update those, and you can set them to update multiple times a day. And auto update will let you determine whether or not the products come into profit. So it was not profitable before with no ROI, and now it is. Or B, it is out of stock and now it's in stock. So auto update's a great way to keep an eye on certain products that you think might be worthwhile, because let's say, for example, product search here. I recommend people do not use this remove out of stocks products filter. Advanced search can throw people for a bit of a six sometimes, because because at first you think, well, maybe I should be using 10 of these filters. But I've said in so many of these videos that you really should use as little as possible. We have to have them in there because some people just insist on removing out of stock products. But I would not remove out of stock products. If I find something with good ROI that's out of stock, I'll simply just add it to a save folder and then point auto update at it and tell them to let me know, tell the system to let me know when that product comes back into stock. So definitely use auto update or explore that. Build up some replenishables or some save lists that you want to track, and have them alert you when the product comes back into stock or becomes positive ROI. Like Lem says here, I have some fairly extreme high ROI items with great velocity when they come back into stock. So that's a good option for that. Rob Ryan. Hey, Rob, I'm currently in progress of manually making a catalog of a B&M store with no online, a brick and mortar store with no online presence. I sell huge volumes of their products, but prices swing wildly, and before I buy in bulk each week, see more. Okay, I didn't snapshot this one properly. We don't have the rest of your comment there, Rob. So basically, importing a catalog of what do you think he means there, Chris? I might have missed.
So it sounds like he's making like a wholesale price list from a brick and mortar store, Now, and that's a fantastic idea. I like the way he's thinking. If the store is reseller friendly, which I'm gonna guess if Rob is buying in bulk each week, they may be reseller friendly. I have had some luck in previous years at some local Kroger's making friends with the managers, and sometimes they will give you a CSV file of inventory and their prices along with UPC codes. So you may want to just ask. The answer is always no if you don't ask. But I really like what he's thinking here.
And then, of course, you would just use the once you've created that sheet, you would use the upload manifest in the wholesale searching section.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We had a bit of a shout out there from Charles Leslie.
What's up, man?
How you going, mate? And we had a comment from Facebook user. Hey, Chaz, good to see you. Keep up the good work on your videos. Been watching them since you first started FBA. We've all been following Chaz for some years now, and always a face we'd like to see. Okay. So Rob, in that same vein, says, I dump everything I've ever sold on Amazon into a CSV, and I import it into Tactical Arbitrage, and then I use a reverse search to find replens. It was impossible before Tactical Arbitrage to manage more than a handful of my replens. Now, I replied to Rob in Facebook on this because maybe he didn't realize that you can do that with View Inventory now. So you go into View Inventory, which will show you everything you've ever sold on Amazon, and you can run a reverse search from in there just to see if there's anything fresh from what you've sold in the past that's available. Can I just pause to say I do not recommend the mango flavored Pepsi Max. I'm ready to this guy. Yeah, Lisa's bought that, and
You guys must be a trial market.
I don't even think that's legal in America.
Man, on the road to Las Vegas once, I stopped at this. I don't know. It was just outside of Vegas, and we pulled into this like convenience type store. They had every kind of disgusting drink known to man: scorpion flavored tangerine soft drink. And yeah, it was just a wall of it, and so I don't think this is too weird compared to what you guys have got. But I did bring a backup drink just in case, some lemonade. So that's gonna.
Have you ever been to the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta? No,
not me. No.
So
I definitely have.
At the Coca-Cola Museum, they've got a place where you can try like every soda that Coke offers across the entire world, and some of them.
It's foul.
Oh, I mean, just like putrid, disgusting.
I think
drinks.
they're punking us on some of those. Like, you'll never go there. You don't know.
You don't know what the drink of Tanzania is. Just drink it.
I can't even do vanilla Coke. That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
and oh my God, you guys seem to be obsessed with cherry flavored things, and there's not a single cherry flavored thing in Australia. You couldn't find. You might be able to find in an obscure shelf in the back of some import store a can of Dr. Pepper, but there is nothing cherry flavored in Australia. So if you're anti-cherry flavored, come to Australia.
You guys eat that nasty stuff on your toast, though. I mean,
Vegemite is awesome.
Oh man,
you're doing it wrong, Ben. The way to make Vegemite work is the thinnest spread possible on a nice healthy amount of butter, and it's delicious. I think every time people who've never had Vegemite before, they try it, they put this big thick paste on like it's peanut butter. Nobody would eat it like that. That's disgusting.
It's all disgusting.
Yeah. I'll make it for you properly one day, Chris.
All right.
Sounds like a threat.
Jay Bentoncourt, who is actually here. I saw him shout out earlier. Hey, Jay, how are you, man? We're going to shout out one of your comments here. Create a folder for out-of-stock items that are profitable and put your feet up. Let TA do the hard work of checking your products until you get... this is the same as Lem said in a different kind of way. So this is the auto updates feature as well. So we have a couple of people now who are saying this. If it's out of stock and it's profitable, stick it in a saved folder, point auto updates and alerts at it, and you can set it to send you either an SMS direct to your phone or an email. But there's no better Pavlovian response than sitting on the couch watching something and the latest. Have you been watching The Boys? That's crazy, insane. But let's say, okay, watching The Boys on the couch, and then you get an alert saying this product is now in stock. You'd be surprised how few people are using the auto updates and alerts feature. I can see in the back end that probably only about 20% of members are utilizing this great feature, and almost none of them are pointing at the same products as you. So if you have a folder set up and it says this product is now back in stock, then you can pretty safely wander to the computer and purchase that product knowing that you're going to get to it before anybody else, because you went to the trouble and the time to set up an auto update and alert and pointed at a folder of saved products. So definitely do that. I repeat myself a lot in these videos because it's the fundamentals that'll get you the recurring profits over time. As soon as you start deviating away, sure, try new things, but always keep those fundamentals in check.
Picture you as like a Larry Bird type basketball player, all about the fundamentals, high shorts.
Larry Bird. Celtics, right? Celtics?
Yep.
Celtics.
Yeah.
Good job. See, I don't even know what sports you guys play in Australia. I'd be like,
We got Aussie rules football.
Huh?
We follow American sports, but it's mainly the greats. You know, we all watched The Last Dance. Well, I did. I love that documentary.
Did you watch Dancing with the Stars last night?
No, but I hear there was a great Carol Baskins.
Oh my God, so amazing! Did you see the ad though on Twitter?
I saw that they spelled assistant wrong.
It had to have been expensive airtime, and they bought a 25-second spot or whatever it is to ask for information about her ex-husband's disappearance. It's like, that is savage. Good for them.
I could just see Carol saying to her
cool cat
tiger husband, I'm not sure what his name is, later that night, I knew this was a bad idea.
I just keep thinking that this is going to make such a good second documentary when we find out she did do it. Oh my God. I hope everybody's filming what she's doing right now because it's going to be the best.
You know, Amazon's looking to get Nick Cage to play him in
to play Joe.
Yeah, to play Joe Exotic.
They're talking about him or the guy from Reno 911.
Oh, what a great! That would be so great.
Yeah, he would nail that. He would nail that.
Oh yeah, I know the guy you're talking about.
I forget his name, but Officer Dangle.
That'd be better. It'd be more tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
James McConnell says track sales externally from TA. What does he mean? What does he mean, Chris? Nate. Track sales externally from TA. Over time, you can learn what good versus bad sales are, and you can scan the good ones faster and buy up the stock. Also, learn how sites do non-advertised sales.
So I think he means like tracking a site's sale history. Like, for example, I always use this example. I know that the sale that Walgreens is having this week, they're going to have it again in like another 6 weeks. So he means being able to stay up on that cycle of sales, so you know when there's a good sale and when it's just and you can then buy out a lot of inventory at one time while there's a good sale going on.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point, because some sales are cyclical, and you can almost predict that. Let's say the REI, for example, they're going to sort of every second Friday they're going to send out that email. Once you start getting the cycles down pat, then you'll know. Or are you saying non-advertised, so not even the email, basically in the store?
Yeah, learn how sites do their non-advertised. Like I'll be honest, there are some sales that Walgreens does that they don't put in their email. You've got to go to the website and find it. And most sites have those. Target does it. They have, get 10% off here, and it's not in their circular, and they're all over the place. We just have to go digging for them.
Yeah, and of course you can always jump into any website with the click of a button. Just use your little icon here at beside that, and here's a good trick. If you want to check a lot of these sites at once, you can use I've got a multiple link tool here, and I could scan over all of these at once and open up 4 pages at once, and then I can jump in and have a look at the sales nice and easily. To do that, you'd go over to the basic view, and then maybe just pick one letter, and then I could just scan that whole collection there. And quite often those unadvertised sales are sitting right there at the top of the page, or they're not buried too deep.
Is that
So,
link clump?
Link clump, yeah, that's it. So tip and trick, you install link clump as a Chrome extension, go to basic view, and then mass open a bunch of pages, and then check it out.
That's a good one.
That's
and
good. Yeah, we did a video on how to use link clump with the file or a bulk upload in storefront Docker. Pretty cool.
Moshan says, learn how to use and upload bulk sheets for scanning. Such a simple tip, but so worthwhile doing. So there's a bunch of different kinds of bulk you can upload, whether it's a collection of ASINs in reverse search or whether it's a list of URLs in the product search. But it's always easy to learn because you can jump on into something like import bulk category list, and then when you click upload new file, it's just going to give you that template exactly what you need to do that. And then keeping a collection of bulk lists that work for you is good. So you can always use Easy Bulk, of course, which is built right into Tactical Arbitrage. But sometimes, and I saw Chris referencing this in an answer to a comment on the group yesterday, sometimes Easy Bulk doesn't have a latest sale URL. So there might be a kind of like a temporary URL that comes up for a specific sale. And Easy Bulk is more so going to cover the staples, the everyday URLs that are on the site day in and day out. But if that sale URL is not in Easy Bulk, then adding those to a bulk list, or just straight up using just the category, is another way you can enter the category URL right in there. But sometimes even those temporary links are reused over and over again, so it's good to get those into a bulk list as well. So that's a good tip, Marshawn. Thank you for that.
Guys, we're kind of missing over the comments. We're going to go through these, and then Alex, I think maybe we should have said that at the beginning a little bit more because there's a couple of questions on the side.
Oh, you can shout them out as we go if you like.
Let's go through what we've got, and then if we have time at the end, they're kind of not related to what was.
Okay, cool. Colin Lorky, hire a virtual assistant and just storefront stalk in reverse in between researching wholesale price sheets. Don't let the scanning stop. Don't stop your scanning.
That was good. We should just quit all this and get the band back together.
We should. Well, you can play an instrument. What are you? You're on piano.
Yeah.
And what can you play, Chris?
Tickle the ivories. Christopher will slap the bass.
I'll slap the bass.
It's gonna leave you on the drums.
No, I'm lead singer.
No, you're gonna Phil Collins it though, because we don't have drums.
I can't play music, unfortunately. I can play the introduction to Stairway to Heaven, I think, on the guitar. That's about it. I think everybody can play that. Hire virtual. So okay, so yeah, I always say about on the dashboard here, if the dots are green, that's good. I was going to rhyme something then, but if the dots are green, keep. That means that you're scanning something from every section. If the dots are red, then your scans are dead, and you should be bringing some life back into there. So there is one thing I'll say to that. It used to be that you could just scan sort of one of each of these. Now, the way that Search Manager works now is you can scan simultaneous any number. So you might be scanning like 7 product searches at once. In that case, you can't really turn these dots green if you're already using all spots on product search. But make sure you are scanning. Colin is right.
Can we hit it one more time? Don't stop
the scanning.
Chris, we're gonna need you to be like the scanning.
Rahul Patel, if there weren't enough products to be reviewed for the day, open up the Always Be Scanning tab. Great advice. This tab will always surprise you. I can't tell you the number of great items the virtual assistant has found when they ran out of pre-ran scans for the day, and we're just casually reviewing this section. All caps. This is the most underused gem of tactical arbitrage. I think a lot of people are using it now. It is a great tip, though, Raphael. Definitely use Always Be Scanning. Always Be Scanning is doing exactly as the name says. I struggled with the name of this, and I thought, well, you know, are we going to call it the curated list or anything like that? And in the end, it was like, you know what? It's just always scanning. It's just always looking for deals for you. And like you said, you can go up and watch a bit of TV and then come back, and there'll be like 10 new products that weren't there earlier. Some of those might suit your store, some of them might not, but always keep checking. And if you want to get a bit of a tip and just keeping, if you're checking this page all the time, then I would suggest you go to the last update section there and just say, you know, we only want to see in the last 0 to 1 days, and that's going to narrow down and just show you the most current stuff there. What happens is in 28 days, the products fall off the page here because we'd have a never-ending stream of data otherwise. And so I can see that there's 22 products there. I've got some other filters actually. If I reset those, sorry, if I reset all the filters and narrow this down from 0 to 1 days, there should be about, oh, there's only 22 products on here at the moment. So, and yeah, there's always going to be some stuff on there. Here we go. Do we have any profit on this item? 77% profit on this Walmart item here. I've only got that on 7 days, but I can see that on 31 days that that's selling at a reasonable pace. But I might want to drill into that more and have a look as to whether or not there is many sellers on that product. And of course, you do your due diligence and check other things, like you check your restrictions for yourself on the product, make sure it's not a topical, that kind of thing. But yeah, always check, always be scanning. Rahul again. Use the wholesale search tab to run reverse searches. The reverse search tab only lets you import 25,000 ASINs at one time, but the wholesale search tab,
sneaky,
lets you import 50,000 ASINs at a time. So ensure the boxes for also reverse search result of UPC stores and title search is turned on. PS, enable rapid search for a superpowered fast search. Okay, I'll have to tell you, rapid search, when you've got reverse search on, is not going to reverse search rapidly. It'll only reverse search. It'll only do rapid on the non-reverse component of that. But it's still a great tip, though. So what he's trying to say is, if you wanted to get around the limits on reverse search of the 25,000 limits, you can be a little bit cheeky and sneak through the system here, because you can actually import up to 50,000 products. I'll just remove his question so you can see what I'm talking. The maximum number of rows you can upload in a list is 50,000. So you upload your 50,000. And then down here, he's saying, also reverse search the results for UPC, or if you're feeling brave, also the title searches as well. And you'll get double the amount of ASINs in one search by using that trick. That's a pretty cool trick, actually. Okay, somebody else can read one. Nate?
Schedule scans in advance to save you time and keep your sanity. Regardless if you're running scans for yourself or the VA, having scheduled scans that you don't need to think about is a super time saver, all caps. The steps to schedule them are so easy in TA. Run the exact scan you want to have scheduled in the future. Click the orange Save Search button on the scan. Go to the Save tab in Search Manager and set Auto Run. It's just like setting a recurring meeting. So easy.
It is. And I love that he referred to this, because these features take a long time to build, and that we don't build them unless they're extremely useful and we know that it's going to be of a mass benefit to whoever uses it. And then when we see that, only X percentage are actually utilizing it, we think, you're just leaving a really good feature on the table there. So it's simply a matter of, we've got some saved searches in here, and you just go in there and you set auto run. It's going to pop up and say, repeat this every week or every month or every day. You can even set what time of day to run it. And just like Rahul says, it's like setting a recurring meeting. It is so easy. Thank you for reading that, Nate. You spared my voice. Let's let Chris have one. Here you go, Chris.
Lem's got all of them. A lot of them. I know. Lem was in the last OA challenge, and he's not someone who really needs to learn anything about OA. He's awesome, but he was incredibly helpful, and I was really glad to have him there. But Lem says most stores run ads on Sunday morning and typically go live at 3 a.m.-ish Eastern time. Set a scan for those sites/categories to run at 3 a.m. Eastern and get ahead of everyone else on the sales. Can also be really useful for RA to get the item in your hand quickly.
And of course, this ties into the previous comment about setting scans. And it is so easy to set a scan, completed, save the search with this button here. And in the save one, you can set that to auto run from there. You're basically moving the scan down through the tabs here. So originally it's queued, then it's completed. Then you want to save that sucker, and then you can schedule it from there. Or you can rerun it from here as well. And then, of course, once it is in the scheduled section, you can edit the schedule. In this case, we might want to schedule this for 3 a.m. On a Sunday, just like Lem suggested. All right, Nate, you can have another one. It's like Christmas where we're sharing who gives the presents.
It is. Doing reverse searches on Amazon categories that I know are good for me, then letting my VA whittle down the results to the good to buy items.
Nice, clean tip, fundamental there. Reverse search Amazon categories. One of the fastest and best ways to reverse search Amazon category is to use the built-in best sellers feature. And to do that, you hit scan best sellers. You select a category. Let's go toys and games. And you can drill down even further if you like. Let's go toys and games puzzles. And then hit search. And then the virtual assistant will come in later and have a look at any positive ROI products that appear, and we'll help sort that out. So we found 9,500 products there, which is good. We recently doubled the amount. It used to be 5,000 product maximum in the subcategories, and we've recently doubled the amount that you can get from a subcategory. So there's 9,500 in there at the moment. But if I start a new search, one of the interesting things is it used to be 100,000 maximum on a root category, but we've increased this quite a bit, and it's different for each one of these. But if I do a toys and games root category, you'll see instead of 100,000, we have increased this to, and I don't know what number it's going to tell us here, so drum roll, please. It's taking a second, because you know what it's going to do? It's got to look at the, here's the little insight. It says 174,872, so it's almost doubled as well. So what we've basically done is we've gone into all of the level 2. So let's go start new search again. So toys and games level 1 used to be basically just 100,000, but now we've added in any non-duplicates that are in all of these. So if there was 9,500, we'll move that into the top there as well. So if you don't want to if you want to just be lazy and just scan basically level 2 on all of these, just scan the root category. So that's a little tip there. Thank you, Deborah Lynn. I appreciate that tip. And Chris, your turn.
Daryl says, use Amazon Flips to find those items that Amazon is very often out of stock and or never in stock, and create a list of those ASINs to often do a reverse search. In addition, create a folder with those ASINs added to an auto scan 1 to 4 times daily, where you can get notifications per email.
So a quick shout out to the fact that it's no coincidence that these tips and tricks are mentioning the auto scan functionality found in the settings. It's pretty common knowledge that it's underused. Well, it is sort of in our internal team, but these guys that are giving tips and tricks, these are guys who are big players. Daryl Frank's been with Tactical Arbitrage for a long time. He knows his stuff. If he's saying set up some saved folders and use the auto scan feature, the auto alerts feature in settings, and other people are saying that as well, it's definitely something you should look at. So get out a pen, write it down on a piece of paper on your desk, auto alerts function in the settings page, and check it out. It's pretty self-explanatory once you have a look, and you can always use these little question marks that are on the side here. Once you go into settings page and open up auto alerts, you can use that. Let's get that out of the way. You can use that little question mark to explain how it works on the side there. So what else did Daryl say there as well? He said use Amazon Flips. To find items, Amazon is very often out of stock and are never in stock. And create a list of those ASINs to do a reverse search is the other thing that he said. So how would you best recommend to do that, Chris?
Let's see. Create a list of those ASINs the ones that are never out of stock and never in stock.
Oh, yeah. Good. So use the column. Use that column filter. I don't think I've got any data in here today in the Flips page, but see this column over here that says Amazon sells and in stock. Actually, Amazon sells and in stock. So you want to use the column filter there, and there'll be the option there for selecting the never in stock setting, and you can export the ASINs using the download all feature and of the filtered. So filter it first and then download the filtered ASINs, and you can utilize those. So that's a good suggestion too. Column filters. Here's a suggestion of mine. Keep your filters loose in the product search and then drill down in the view data. Column filters are great. I'm from a background with spreadsheets, and this is like having an Excel spreadsheet. You can go in there and you can just select price ranges. You can select in stock or out of stock, and for different reasons, like we're talking about before, sending some out of stock products that are profitable to a saved list. So what you would do is you would go out of stock, in stock, no, and then you would go over here and you would say gross ROI equals yes, and then you would send those products to a saved list for auto alerts. So use your column filters, people. Have we done these? We're down to the last 11. Nate. It's Tyler Nelson's in the house.
Tyler Nelson. For sales that are frequent, regular, limited time sales with a certain amount off, run a scan beforehand that factors in the discounts so that when it's crunch time, you can make your purchases while everyone else is still running their scans. Store the list in a Google Sheet.
That's good. It's like a predictive method. For example, Target regularly has 30% off board games. You know that they do that at the start of each month because you've been doing this long enough. I'm not saying that's a real thing, but this is just an example. So you would go in, you would run the scan now with the 30% discount built into your discounts before the sale even starts. So then you can see which items are going to be the ones to get when that sale begins. So suddenly the board game sale is live, and you already have a list of if 30% off equals true, then we want pie face and Monopoly Australia edition, and to get all those the second the sale goes live. While everybody else is just starting their scans, you are already in there making your purchases. Good idea. Actually, with a system like this, it is probably even worth hitting the big department name stores, because you would be in first. I don't recommend you like hang around Target and Walmart too much. However, if you are going to be one of the first ones in there to get the goodies, then you can sometimes clear out the shelves before anybody else. So that's a good idea, Tyler. Thank you for that.
I like that you said Google Sheets too instead of Microsoft Excel.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we just released recently the ability to import directly from Google Drive.
That's sweet.
Here's a little off TA hack if everybody wants one. If you're anything like me, you're in Google Sheets quite a bit, and you're always making a new one for something else, or whatever. If you type the word sheet.new into the Google Chrome URL bar, it will automatically open up a new Google Sheet without you having to go to Google Drive and then open up a new Google Sheet or anything like that.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Sheet.new.
Yeah, it works, and it works for sheets.new, sheet.new. Also works for doc.new and docs.new to open up Google Docs. Just lots of really quick ways. And I've been toying with this, but it would require being logged in all the time. But we could get like a ta.new, and it could go directly to a product search.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So we just make that into is it like Bitly where you can create those, or?
You have to you buy them from Google. It's a Google owned extension, I believe. So
okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
you go to I think it's just google.new, and I think you can set that kind of stuff up.
Awesome. Check that out. Thanks, man. Take it away, Chris.
Ethan, take notes how long scans take for certain stores, then schedule them out. i.e., X store does markdowns on X day. Some stores block the brand name, but the brand may have sub-name you can search for, i.e. Climalite. Now, it sounds like that was 2 there.
Yeah. So some stores block the brand name, but the brand may have a sub-name you can search for. So how does he mean? So is this if you're trying to do a specific brand search intentionally?
I'm wondering if it's like 511 Tactical, for example. If it, back in the old days when it was just searching the title, on 511 Tactical, all of their titles start with 5.11, but it may not be like that on Amazon. So maybe he's talking about adding Climalite if the brand name is not being pulled in from a title search or something. That's where I think that may be headed.
Okay, cool. And for the first one, take notes how long scans take for certain stores. So I guess to be transparent about that, the way that we search these stores is different for every single store. So some stores, we have a look at the category page, and we can actually extract all the information we need from a category page. And on the category page, there might be 30 products. So we tend to whip through those stores a lot faster than others. Now, due to the structure being completely different on every single website, other stores require us to go into the product page, and we've got to open every single page separately, one by one by one. And so those products, and I'm only talking about live scans here, like when the product is being accessed live, not a cached search, but for those, we have to look at each product's page one by one. And in addition to that, some are extremely open with their code, and in other cases, we've got to basically overcome some code limitations to be able to extract the information we need to compare against Amazon. So every single store does scan at different speeds. You can never say based on one store that tactical arbitrage is A, fast, or B, slow, because every single type of store search is different and has been put together differently. But as Ethan says, take notes how long scans take for certain stores, some fast, some slow, and then schedule them out. So, one particular store does markdowns on one particular day. Make sure that you allocate enough time to hit that store at the right time for the right amount of search time. Let me again, this one can be you, Nate.
Tactical edge and the reverse search ability of other sellers might be my favorite thing, just because of how easy and how many different ASINs from multiple sellers that are looking and selling similar items that you sell, originating from a single ASIN tactical edge search. Lem, that sentence was so long. So simple, you could probably continue to drink and TA like that. Check the results. Maybe.
I think what Lem's just talking about here is the ability to go into tactical edge. Let me see where I've got some products here. We'll just dive on into. So in tactical edge, which is found by clicking on the microscope button or microscope link on any row. If you dive on into this educational insights canoodle game, it's going to bring up a bunch of sellers down the bottom here of who's currently selling this. So the way it works at the moment, if I click one of these, it's going to download a CSV that I can then sort of bring into reverse search and run a scan. And we're changing that because it's a global system. And you see how it just went light in color then? It was a solid color, which meant that the system was currently available to be used. And it's just gone to a light color. That means the system is being in use. So we had to do that recently because A, we were able to get more ASINs by doing it this way. We were able to get a more complete breakdown of a seller's store. Prior, we were only getting about maybe 60 to 70% of the seller's ASINs. Now we're getting much closer to every ASIN they've got with this new system. And so for various reasons, this system had to be put into place. But there is a couple of sellers out there that are, I won't say abusing the system, they're simply just using the system in a way that it is able to be used. See, it's just become available now. But they are just downloading CSV and then activating the system again, and then downloading a CSV, then downloading a CSV. Now, the reality is that what it should really do is you click this, and then it starts a scan over on reverse search. So we're going to bypass this ability to download the CSVs from there. So, I mean, it's not blocked off that often, but I did have to wait then for somebody else to finish using it for a few seconds then for me to be able to use it. And we're going to minimize the amount of times that happened. So it's more of an internal sort of development thing, but we do have to evolve that system a little bit. So what it's doing is what Lem says there is I've gone into here and I've said, let's grab the ASINs off constructive playthings, and I've currently got the system in use. And it's grabbing constructive playthings ASINs, and it's preparing it for a search for me now, for a reverse search. Being able to reverse search that seller's ASINs is a good way of finding some profitable products, because assuming this particular seller found his product somewhere, and we've got a lot of resources or places to find products in the online arbitrage space. So it's going to allow us to point back at those. So we found 1,368 ASINs from that storefront, and they've been prepared to run as a bulk list right now. So it's just simply a matter of me hitting the search button now. It's all ready to go. I might want to add some filters first, but basically constructive playthings, their storefront is ready to scan. So that's what Lem's talking about there.
And since there are some changes coming, if I could just interject there, using link clump on all of those storefronts and throwing the Storefront Stalker Pro may be another good alternative that people want to look into. And let an extension do the work, instead of needing to worry about having to wait and things like that. But I showed some people how to get a bunch of storefronts into Storefront Stalker Pro the other day, and people were like, I had no idea you could do that. It's kind of one of those hidden gems inside of SSP.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so the change we're going to be making, I don't think link clump's going to work on this anymore, because basically what you'll click this, and we're going to sort of add a feature at the same time as changing a feature. You'll click this and it'll ask you whether or not you want to send the seller's ASINs to reverse search or to wholesale search. Because at the moment, if you go to wholesale search, you've got to go in here, search seller products, and put your seller ID in there. And Tactical Edge is only sending this to reverse search. So you'll have the option of sending this to wholesale search or reverse search, and then starting a search from there. And look, somebody else has just jumped in and they're using the system again. So that's what we've got to we've got to minimize.
Will the links to the storefront still be active?
So what will happen? Oh, these links. So yes, yes, of course. These links here will be still active here. I thought you meant to select these buttons with a link clump, but of course these links here will still be active. So that'll work as you've explained it. Yeah. Who read the last one? I'll read this one. Lemmy Turner. Haven't seen him in a while. Run searches on random sites.
That's the first one we did, isn't it?
Oh, we already read this one. Okay.
Yeah, we're about the beginning.
Michael Cook. Retail arbitrage, folks. Don't overlook the wholesale feature. Run lists of ASINs through it to find high velocity listings for products you can then find in non-tactical arbitrage brick and mortar stores. Add in the reverse filter for some OA finds at the same time. That sort of covers a couple of comments we already had in another way. So I won't hit that one again because we kind of already explained that, but that's a good tip, Michael. Thank you so much. And here's one for you, Nate.
I'd like to look beyond the results TA gives me. When I see a good item, I look at the listing TA returned, but then look for more listings of that product, multi-packs, different colors, sizes, etc.
That's a good idea. So you find a tube of toothpaste, it has positive ROI, but why not check Amazon for the multi-packs, the 6-packs of toothpastes? They will still often come up if the UPC matches, but in some cases, for some stores where there's no UPC match and whatnot, some of those additional Amazon ASINs may not show, and it's, why not dig around? Chase those rabbit tails and find those additional opportunities. There's one for you, Chris. Nice long one.
Kevin says, I have two, if that's okay. So part one, for me, the best way to get results is to use TA. Always have 4 to 6 scans running in the background. I'll keep one scan open and pick something that's unique for me. Part number two, this will take 3 scans. It's a work in progress still, but he's kind of sharing how he's testing it out here. So if you know a store that is about to have a sale, run scan number 1 on the store before the sale. Scan number 2 will be a scan on the store while the sale is going on. And scan number 3 will be to run a scan on the store after the sale. With the 3 scans, I felt it will help me with FOMO stores like Kohl's. With the 3 scans, you can figure out if it was a true sale, how much you would have saved if you waited for the sale, how much you would have lost because you waited for the sale compared to the price on Amazon before and after the sale. Get set up next time with how many discount gift cards you should buy. Now, if the master Jedi of the group, Chris, can come up with a Chrome extension that allows you to compare all 3 scans side by side to see the final numbers, save, lost, and gain, that would be awesome. if you can compare 3 scans side by side now in TA. I didn't know how to do that yet. Just off the.
What do you think Kevin's trying to say is that some stores inflate their prices for the sale?
Yeah, I mean, this is, JCPenney almost went out of business because they stopped inflating their prices so that they could have sales. And so stores like JCPenney and Kohl's, their prices are always too high, and they're not really worth it until there's a sale going on. But he's saying, let's see, run 3 scans, one before, one during, and one after, and see if that's actually true. Did they maybe increase their price to run a sale to make it the same price, or so on? But about comparing those 3 scans side by side, you could make that happen in a Google sheet with some fancy. Sorry, my mind is going blank. Equations, and compare all of those on a 4th sheet if you wanted to, but it would take a little work to set that all up.
Yeah, I guess what it could give you is an indication of which stores are basically deeply discounting their products and which stores are like inflating on the moment of the sale and whatnot. You could start to chart that out yourself so that you know which ones are worth getting excited about the sale versus others. It is a lot of extra work to do that, but if you're a data guy, then I can see why you might want to drill into that to make sure that you're not missing any opportunities, or whether you're wasting time on a store which simply just drops the price 20% and then says they're having a 20% off sale. Hadn't really thought about that before, but that's an interesting insight, Kevin. Thank you so much. Elizabeth Bondeson, I'm going to let you field this one, Chris, because you really liked this response, and you asked, you thought that she was deserving of that prize. I also need to take a quick bathroom break, so I'll let you read that out, and I'll be back in just a moment.
All right. So Elizabeth says, I set a timer for 60 minutes each day to review basic product searches that I run on the Target and Walmart websites. Then I place my orders for store pickup. Every 3rd day, I plan a fun store visit trip for myself and my daughter. We visit the $1 section at Target, shop for some groceries, and get some takeout from the McDonald's inside Walmart. I pick up merchandise, and it usually takes no more than 5 to 10 minutes per store. I'm amazed by how profitable this strategy has turned out to be, even though it is very basic.
The McDonald's in the Walmart always tastes better.
Does it? I have not done a taste test, but now I am tempted.
Yeah.
I go get a Travis Scott meal from both McDonald's inside the Walmart and outside the Walmart and see which one is better.
Yeah. No, it's that's just a fact. Them's the facts right there. It's not even my opinion.
Hopefully Alex turned off his mic since he's taking a bathroom break. We don't hear an accidental flush.
It was pee.
Oh, he didn't turn his mic off.
Is it? Oh, he's got his headphones on. Oh my god. Hey.
I'm glad that was just a one flusher.
Yeah, no, she's so good. Have you covered that one?
Yeah. This is a great one. Scanning for local pickup is, I really think it's a great idea, especially when we are going to be merchant fulfilling a lot of things, and in this Q4, I think this is a great way to find some things really quickly, have them fast, and sell them through really quickly. I sent my wife out today, or she went out to go to Michael's or some other hobby store, and on her way back, I had her pick up some items for me that I ordered for pickup, and they were all sold within an hour or two. So there's a lot of money to be made with this strategy.
Nice. And if you wanted to go back over some of these, just check out just do a search in the Tactical Arbitrage group for the word competition, and you can see this thread which covers all of these comments. It's in the first couple of comments, so I can probably even link Yeah, I'll link to it directly underneath this particular video in the group after the show. All right, let's talk about Lem. Lem Turner says, sometimes tactical arbitrage has a hard time seeing multi-packs on source sites. For example, website ABC might have a certain item that they sell in a single, a double, and a 4-pack. The single may be out of stock. And tactical arbitrage recognizes that product as being out of stock. And if you have your search settings to show not show out of stock, it won't show up in your data page, when in actuality they are in stock of the double and the 4-pack. I mean, and you can always bust up a 4-pack into 4. So you may want to not check that setting and do a little digging on results that show up as no in the in-stock column. Like I said before, I don't tick the hide out of stock products myself personally. There's just too much gold in there. I've said it a million times, and I really should put a pop-up on the screen when people start over filtering. As soon as like four filters or 5 filters are in there, there should really be a pop-up saying, are you sure you want to put this many filters? We don't recommend, but people don't like nag screens, so we need to sort of trust that to a degree you guys know not to over filter. Also, putting out of stock into an auto update folder can let you know when items that were out of stock are now in stock. That's like the 4th time we've had somebody say, use the auto update and alert feature in settings. So make sure you check that out. Thanks, Lem. And Nate, your turn.
Tactical Edge to check storefront ratings, to download ASINs, to merge, to reverse search, thumb.
Okay, so Nicanor must be one of the people who are currently freezing up the system with the CSV downloads. Okay, so that's going away, Nicanor. I'm sorry, man. We're not gonna let you just download ASINs, stack it on download ASINs, stacking on download ASINs, and then make a giant CSV. It's what I would recommend you do if you want to just download a whole pile of ASINs is we can't have Keeper in our product anymore. We were told to remove it. So end of last year, we had to pull Keeper out of the system. But you can quite happily do what you want with Keeper. I would go to keeper.com, get like the bare bones subscription so that you can just get data, and then you can basically pull ASINs from any seller storefront that way, or even better, Storefront Stalker. Use Storefront Stalker. It's an extension that Nate McAllister has put together, and it's for a fee, but it's worth every cent. It's so fast, and you can basically point it at not only storefronts, but any Amazon category, and extract pages and pages of ASINs with a single click that way as well. So, Nate, I might get you to paste a link to Storefront Stalker underneath this video as well, so that anybody who wants to grab Storefront Stalker could jump on that. But there's 2 other options besides using all the resources of Tactical Edge right now, because that feature is going to be gone. I got a message last night from my developer that said this is almost complete. So I think probably tomorrow. I would be surprised if you could use Tactical Edge the way that people are currently using it as from tomorrow. Chris.
Jamie says consistency, time block and source on a predetermined schedule, regardless if you feel like it or not. Some of my best finds have come on days I don't feel like sourcing. I think this one should have a lot more likes.
That's just good life advice.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I've been getting up at like 5:30 to 5:20 every morning, and I freaking hate it. But I have gotten so much more done by being consistent in the morning, getting up, that it's been good. And one of the ways that I'm doing it is I've got an accountability partner, and so get an accountability partner. Check in with each other every day. It is Nate.
Are you the sponsor, Nate?
Yeah, he and I message each other every morning to make sure we're awake. We are.
Why don't I get these messages? I need a message.
We can message you good night. What time?
Yeah.
It'd be about 8. It'd be about 8 o'clock at night there when we get up.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost lunchtime here, so I need some accountability on that after we finished this. Tell me to eat. Bob Steele says, I take old sourcing lists and I feed them through the wholesale search. Bob Steele is a wealth of good advice. So if Bob Steele speaks, I recommend listen. It will show many items that were no longer profitable that are worth buying again. I also have my sourcing virtual assistant not add all the calculations, saving them time to find new leads, and let TA do all the calculations. Basically, they spend more time just matching and let the TA jet through them all. Good advice, Bob. Take those old sourcing lists. If you've been part of any list group historically and you feel like that those list groups were just for the day they came out, then you're wrong. You can get those old lists and you can rerun them through the system. Just import them straight in and scan them again. And
what goes around comes around method.
That's it. And our last trick and tip is from Julia Fleming, who says, don't drink in TA.
That's fair.
I don't know if that's good advice or not. Some of my best buys have been with a glass in my hand. So
yeah.
So we are reaching the end, but I would like to give away a T-shirt or two. So do we have any comments there? Anything in the comments that's worth shouting out before we go?
You have a T-shirt? Let's give it to Lem. If there's a winner.
Let's give Lemmy a T-shirt. Okay, Lem, shoot me your prize.
Of the comments today because we had this stuff. So I apologize, guys, if you asked questions and we didn't answer it. Lem, thank you for answering some of those. That's awesome. We'll send you a T-shirt. Is it going to be the regular TA one?
Yeah. Or if you've got another T-shirt that you want to link me to, any T-shirt on Amazon, Lem. I'll be disappointed if you don't choose the Tactical Arbitrage T-shirt, but
Yeah, whoa, you're giving Better not get like a FBA wizard or something.
Right.
I don't know if they exist anymore. I'm not sure. They might. I don't know.
I may have sent Lem a shirt not too long ago, but I mean, I've got like 6 of them. I just cycle through a new one each day.
Well, Lem says pay it forward, so let's give it to Christine.
Send him the hummingbird costume.
Christine, hummingbird costume is in a box, waiting for the next Vegas trip so we can bring him out again. But I can't. They won't let me into America at the moment.
Yeah.
So they won't let us leave the country, really. They won't let us leave the state, really. But it's okay. We are happy with that right now. Christine says, hello, gents. I feel like it's been ages. Hi, Christine. I'm finally settled from a move. My virtual assistant has been loving all the different ways to do searches. Storefronts are a great reverse search resource for me. Christine, for want of a better person and appreciative of you reiterating some of the other comments here, thank you. You can contact me for a T-shirt. No worries.
Woo-woo.
And did we mention lunch before? Because I'm getting hungry. I didn't even eat breakfast yet.
I just want to go find my AirPod. I'm like so bent about this right now.
Did you see how to find that with the app?
So
what's that?
I typed in the words "find one," and then it auto populates an article says "find one missing AirPod Pro." I'm like, that was very good predictive text.
Right.
But find one could have been anything. Find one.
Had you recently said it out loud though?
Yes, to you guys in the moments prior. So yeah. And it was on an iPhone. They could probably, there's a lot of things that could be going on there.
Alexa was probably listening, or Siri. They all collude.
Yeah. Siri and Alexa are like gossiping about me at the same time. Just sharing what's going on. Oh my God.
Christine, we do have pink. We absolutely do have pink T-shirts. You're welcome to one.
Yes, we do.
And guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Some great tips and tricks in there. I can't believe we got through 10 episodes of this. We'll be back in 2 weeks to continue our next round of 10. This was good, actually. I like going over some user tips and tricks. We covered a few things that other people may not be doing. We'll try and do one of these, call it a clip show. We'll try and do a clip show every half dozen shows or something to cover any new tips or tricks that people might have. But next one, I was thinking we might break it on back to basics to start the next round of 10 and just do a good old-fashioned newbie getting started with tactical arbitrage, how to run a product search scan, and open it up to any newbie questions that you have. So if you're just new to tactical arbitrage and you want some bare bones things we've probably covered in the past and would be in some of the previous videos, I recommend finding episode 5 of Late Night with Tactical Arbitrage, which is the anatomy of a deal. I thought that was an excellent webinar. It's, you'll need to set aside an hour just like this to watch it. But if you want to fast track your way through the opening days of Tactical Arbitrage, getting started, then episode 5 of Late Night with Tactical Arbitrage, found on YouTube, is a good one to watch. But we'll probably get back to some bare bones stuff in the next session.
That one also has our highest IMDb rating. The end of
right at 10 stars on IMDb.
8.2 on IMDb. I was surprised.
The Metacritics loved it.
Yeah.
Are we going to get Joe Rogan on for episode?
That'll be the DMT episode, right?
Episode 420.
Yeah.
If we last 420 episodes, we probably deserve a big name guest. All right, guys. I'm gonna hit the outro. It's time for me to go and eat breakfast or lunch or brunch or whatever we want to call it. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Christine, hit me up for that shirt, and I will see you guys in the next show. Peace.